character's gender or sexuality should not be the most defining feature they have. It should just be a small piece of the puzzle of who they are to make them seem more human. But now the Elder Scrolls Online narrative director is responding to the new non-binary companion Backlash. So of course the gamer is going to defend them tooth and nail, but gamers are fed up with identity politics being shoved into video games at every possible turn. And now the Elder Scrolls Online Update 44 has introduced the game's first non-binary companion, and it is a huge step forward for representation in the game, they're saying. But a vocal subsect of the community has voiced outrage and spouted transphobic abuse, justifying their anger by saying that this inclusion is immersion breaking and saying that they supposedly don't fit into the world of Elder Scrolls. Now, I of course think that there are tons of different characters out there with tons of different backstories who can fit into fantasy stories, but my problem is when you are clearly adding characters in order to fulfill a modern day cycle, right? Oh, it starts with the people that you're hiring behind the scenes. You have a checklist you're going down. You have to have a certain percentage of women or people of color or Latinos, things like that. The best person for the job should get the job, but then you have the developers who are saying, no, I need to see myself in this character. I need to see my sexuality represented. I need to see my gender represented in the way that I feel is more respectful. You have these checklists, and it does take you out of the experience, right? I don't want to play something like Dragon Age the Veilguard and hear modern day terminology like transgender or non-binary. Yes, a character's gender or sexuality is a piece of the puzzle of who they are, but there's a bigger picture, and that shouldn't be their only defining factor. It should be, oh, hey, we have this character who is, very compassionate and very brave and very strong, and by the way, they happen to be gay. Not, I'm gay, pay attention to the fact that I'm gay. I'm gonna tell you I'm gay 8 times in the dialogue. By the way, I'm like kind of a cool person because I care a lot about other people. These are problems with modern day writing, and gamers right now are calling out developers over their DEI initiatives, over the performative bullshit that they're shoving into games and the way that the industry in totality is working. And of course, instead of just trying to be on gamers' side saying, hey, listen, yeah, maybe this character will end up being good, but it's perfectly fine to criticize them until you've played as this character. No, it's instantly to calling us transphobic and just generally terrible things. And this, of course, is not the only time that they, over the years with Elder Scrolls Online, have tried to focus on DEI. I mean, we of course already know that there is a plethora of queer characters within this game, so it's definitely a mentality that they followed for a long time, but it just seems that they're trying to push the boundaries even more, seeing how much they can actually shove into this game before players start revolting. And yes, Elder Scrolls has always put a very big focus on you as the player having a choice, but on the flip side, the way that the industry used to be versus how it is now is very different, and this is most certainly worrying for Elder Scrolls 6. We don't know the state of the game right now. We don't really know the direction that they're heading in, but we know that the industry is filled to the brim with activists who want to preach at you instead of give you a genuinely good story. So this is extremely worrying. I don't know what's going to happen with Elder Scrolls Online, if a lot of people are going to end up boycotting it going forward. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen just because the player base is a bit smaller now. It's definitely gone on in its years. A lot of the people who are still playing are very dedicated to it. And when it comes to Elder Scrolls 6, we've been waiting for years for information. I mean, we got that mountain trailer 7 freaking years ago with the logo. And while I do think they're going to have to announce it sometime soon with all the billions of dollars they've shoved into it because they're gonna need to start making money on it ASAP, it's just very worrying for the future of this franchise. So, of course, this narrative director has responded to this non-binary companion backlash instead of being respectful, basically just calling us ists and phobes. Not a big shocker there. And it will be interesting to see how the community reacts to this. But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.